Welcome, friendly fans. We're behind the scenes with the one and only Joe Redfern, and welcome to the show today.
Dehumanize the man.
Exactly.
Okay?
Exactly.
So if I'm not in the house with the woman, of course I'm gonna go do something else. So here go another family, here go this, here go this, here go this. Okay, they paid for welfare. The black man could have stayed in the house. Remember, in the 70s, our parents was in the house. It was two-family households. We were building in the 60s, in the 50s, in the 40s. We were working together. We had our own Black Wall Street. We had our own, we didn't have to go to the white man for nothing at all. We didn't want to go to the black man. It wasn't until Martin Luther King said, hey, we don't need to drink out our own water fountains. We need to be drinking in the same water fountains. We didn't need to go to nobody. My uncle.
That's true. That's true.
Just like this. I didn't want to eat at their restaurants. They can't cook.
Right, exactly.
We got our own restaurant.
That's what my wife always says.
We got our own restaurants. We got everything that we need
And want.
and we don't want to go over there. Y'all don't like us, we don't like you.
Right.
It wasn't until the integration. Martin Luther King said himself, he lit the burning torch for destruction of the black man when we started with integration. Martin Luther King said it himself. Instead of fighting for economic development, right?
Right.
He fought for civil rights. So civil rights was cool. But once he started with economic development, the FBI said no more, he gotta go. Because now we're opening up our own banks.
Right, now, right.
Now we have our
And
own.
now the white guys got to worry about you in his pocket.
Exactly. So it's been there and it's still there right now.
That's what we're talking about. It ain't changed.
No, it's still there right now.
I was just in Georgia, in Savannah, and I experienced racism in both directions. I tell you, I went into a Circle K to buy Mega Million tickets when it was $1 billion. I walked up to the register and there was a black guy there and I said, I'd like 5 Mega Millions. Well, a black woman, about 4 or 5 ahead of me, I saw her walking out looking at her tickets. So when I get to the register, I ask him for my tickets. He tells me that the machine's broken. So I go outside, I get pissed off, I come back in, I get back in line, I go to the other register, which is another black guy, and he says to me, hey brother, what can I get for you? I said, I need 5 Mega Millions. He says, is that all? And he prints them out. There was nothing wrong with that damn machine. That guy just didn't want to print them for me. So then we go to the War Museum, downtown Savannah. I go in to a white woman at the counter and I said, when's the next tour? She says 10 or 15 minutes. I say, can I look at the memorabilia? Sure. So I'm looking at the memorabilia on the shelves. Well, I was with my son and my wife and all of her family. Now she's Haitian.
Right.
So the whole group's black except for my son who looks Hispanic because of my skin.
Right.
He's lighter. So they all come in and they're looking at the things. When my wife gets impatient, she goes to the counter and says to the woman, when is the next tour? And the woman says, there aren't any more tours today. So my wife, instead of saying, let's go, she gets pissed off at me. She's like, why are we standing here wasting our vacation if there's no more tours? So I said to her, are you fucking crazy? I said, the lady just told me there's a tour in 10 or 15 minutes. So I go up to the counter, I said to her, there must have been some miscommunication because I thought you told me there was another tour in 10 or 15 minutes. She says, oh, you're together? I'm like, you couldn't have fucking lied to me? You couldn't be more obvious, lady. Lie to me and tell me you made a mistake. Yeah, she was so obvious. And in both directions. It's crazy shit that it still exists. My wife and I, when we first started dating about 20 years ago, we used to go to the mall just to laugh at the people that would stare at us when we would walk through the mall holding hands. Oh yeah, it was crazy. But what we learned, strangely enough, was black men stared more than black women or white men and women. Like white men and women, they try to be slick. They try to look out of the corner of their eye. They don't want to turn their head and look. Black women, they just look and then they keep going. The black men are like, yeah.
Yeah, he got a couple dollars.
And that's usually what all of my friends say the same shit.
He got a couple dollars.
That's right.
Yeah,
She's with him because he's got a wallet.
Yeah.
Exactly. They all say that shit, and all they don't know how broke I am. Oh man, that's crazy shit.
You can't just put it on one group of people.
No, we're all responsible. We just nobody wants to take the responsibility.
It's how we deal with every single situation.
That's right. It's always your fault. And his fault, and their fault, but never mind.
It's always my fault. I'm used to it. I'm used to it being my fault, right? So I got a situation that's going on right now next door.
Okay.
Okay? And it's actually my fault that it's not taken care of.
Oh, so you're not just taking the blame, but it's legitimately your fault.
It's legitimately my fault.
But you admitted to it.
No problem at all.
Now, if everybody else in the world would take responsibility like you did, we would have less problems.
Well, it's actually not my fault. But I'm going to take the charge and take care of whatever needs to happen to make sure that everything that I was doing 20, 30 minutes ago, it continues to go right now.
I gotcha.
You understand?
I do. I understand.
So that's what I'm doing exactly at this point. Minus making music.
There you go. And making music is good. I asked him for music and he's too busy bullshitting. There he goes. We're looking for some music over here. You know, I like the conversation because I don't get an opportunity. My wife, being black, doesn't like to talk about the black-white issues. But I like to talk about it because then I learn things from the black side that I don't know. Because who am I? I'm just a white guy that was raised as a white guy. Nobody told me any different. So talking to you and Neil, I get to learn something. I actually ran into a cop about 2 weeks ago. He was in my neighborhood. So I stopped him to say hello. And I said, I want you on my show. And he said, no can do. He says, for political reasons, there's too many approvals necessary for me to come on. He says, so I can't. And he's not white, he was Hispanic. But he said, you know who would be a good person on your show? A BLM supporter. He says, because then you can get both sides of the story. You can get your side and then you can get their side. And that got me thinking, because I don't know nothing about the black side. I only know the white side.
After 20 years?
Well, after 20 years, I've learned from experience from her, right? But I don't talk to guys like you every day. I don't talk to guys like Neil every day and have a conversation like we were just having.
Wow. See?
And that's partly my fault because I don't initiate it.
Let's do this.
Go ahead.
Let's get in my car and take a ride. And when the police come, I'm going to pull in front of them and let's see if we get pulled over. And when he pulls us over, let's see how he treat me.
Well, we know what's going to happen. Even I know what's going to happen.
Right. So that's a problem.
For sure.
That's a problem.
Oh, for
So
sure.
when they take a person's driver's license,
That's an unacceptable
when
problem.
they take a person's driver's license, the first thing they do when you don't pay your child support is what?
Lose your license.
You lose your driver's license. If you don't have no driver's license, what can't you do?
Can't work.
Okay, if you don't work, how you gonna make money?
You can't.
So what you gonna do?
The only one federal organization smart enough to know better was the IRS, because they used to put people in jail. Now they keep you on the streets because they know if I put you in jail, you can't pay me back. But the rest of the government, they put you in jail. Now you can't earn any money, so how am I supposed to pay? Now you're permanently in jail. No, I understand. It's a vicious circle. And if you don't have the means and opportunity, there's no way out. If you don't have a friend that's willing to loan you the money, if you don't have family members that have enough money, there's no way out.
And who has enough money to do that?
Very few people.
Yeah.
And that's all people, not just blacks. All people, most of them don't have that kind of money.
Right.
Yeah.
But the leniency on the other race,
Oh, is always gonna be better on the other side.
always on the other side.
At least for now.
I've been on court and seen people with the same charges, and they go home, and other people stay.
With the same charges.
Same charges. I seen the other guy. He has bad charges, and he's in the bullpen. His bail is $400. Another person, less charges. His bail is $10,000, $20,000. Same point, same everything.
Question is why?
It's the
Is it
system.
only black?
It's the system. It's the system.
I know the system's screwed up.
It's the system.
But does
It
the
is a
system
proven fact.
account for that?
It is a proven fact that more Caucasians take more pills, than the blacks. Why? Because y'all have doctors y'all can go see.
Right, they have means and
You
opportunity.
don't go to the doctors.
That's right.
So now they popping pills and having drinks. That's when they get in those car accidents. That's when they get all messed up.
Right.
That's where the overdoses are coming from.
Oh, for sure. Well, when I went to high school, I went to a private Catholic college prep high school. My mother and father worked 2 or 3 jobs each to pay for it, for me to be able to go there. I walk in the door, and my classmates were doing cocaine.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, they were doing high-priced drugs.
Yeah.
There was no weed in my school. My school, when you brought weed into school, they looked at you like you were from the hood. Like, what are you doing with weed? We got a line over here. Yeah, because the difference in the economic level.
We would beat you up if we found you doing coke. We would sell it. We sold it. But as a young person, nah.
You didn't do it.
The worst of the worst. You were the worst of the worst.
You were like a crackhead before crack.
You was a crackhead before crack. I'm back in the 80s. I'm
Right.
from Baltimore.
Is that where you're from?
I'm from Baltimore.
I'm from Philly.
I used to live in Nicetown, 17th and Winter-Hawken.
Really?
Yes, sir.
I'm from the South. I'm from Vet Stadium, down by the Navy Yard.
See,
I'm from the Italian
it's
neighborhood.
a big difference.
Yes, a big difference.
It's a big difference.
I took my wife to North Philly to go see Will Smith's neighborhood. She said, "Get my black ass out of here." Yeah.
Yeah, ain't nothing nice about Nicetown. Compared to this, you know what? You got that river right there. We used to go fishing at
Schuylkill.
the Schuylkill River, right by 76.
That's right.
I used to go fishing there. My grandfather.
No kidding.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And they would
Damn.
run us out of there. They used to run us out of there from fishing over there.
Why? Oh.
Say, wow. one
You
more
see?
time.
You
I
see?
declare I'm going to take this.
You see?
Right now. It's not no why. It is what it is.
Right. It is what it is. That's right.
It is what it is. How do you deal with it? That's the question
Right.
at hand.
Yep.
That's the only question.
Right. How do you tolerate it?
How do you tolerate it? Because it's not going to change.
But it has to change.
It's not going to change.
But it has to change.
Did COVID bring
You and I are going to die having that argument.
Did COVID change anything? After all these people died, right? And we still survive. We're the survivors.
Yeah, the only thing that changed was now people got more aware of
You gotta
germs.
Understand something. We are survivors of a deadly epidemic.
That's right.
We are survivors.
That's right.
Some of us took the vaccine, some of us didn't. Okay?
Did you take it?
Man, come on, man. I hit you with this. I'm running. I'll tell you, man. I'm gonna break my guitar. Let me make some music.
My dumb ass ain't worth the guitar.
No way on earth I'm gonna take something that just took you 6 months to make. No.
No.
But guess what? We're survivors. But going through that epidemic, we should have been brought together more.
Right? You would think, right? That's a time when we should all be closest.
More of the racist tension than it was before the 70s. With these big Trump flags and everything.
Oh, for sure. Today is bad.
With all the stuff that's going on, and it was terrible. They knew for a fact Make America Great Again was racist. And there's not no question about it. There's nobody can argue that. There's never been a time in history
Right.
where America was great for the black man.
Okay.
There was never, ever a time where America was great for the black man. Never. If you can name it.
No, I'd have to agree with you. I don't think there was ever a time when it was great. Actually, the only time it was good.
And
No, that's not true. The day that Abraham freed the slaves, that was a good day.
Brother,
It was a small time, but it was a good day.
we wasn't free. Nobody knew they were free.
Well, I get that part, but at least
when
legally.
June 17th came in.
Right. That was Juneteenth. That's right.
Yeah. And then what was supposed to happen? Okay, we're gonna give you land, and then now you can, and we're gonna help you build your land. That never happened.
None of that happened. That's right. None of that happened.
None of that happened.
But remember,
They reneged on every single thing, and then they started with mass incarceration. Mass incarceration.
well, that was the alternative method for the slavery. That's right.
That's why they were able to still build and still grow, because they took the people that was locked up
And use them.
and used them.
Used inmates, that's
and
right.
made the woman have to go do what they had to do.
That's right.
It's
It's the same thing but different.
all I want is my 40 acres and a mule. I want my mule. My 40 acres.
And what the hell are you going to do with a mule?
I don't know. Probably eat them.
But I want him. I don't give a damn what I'm doing with him, but I want him. He's owed to me. I want him. And what are you going to do with your 40 acres?
I'm going to put shipping containers on it, and I make developments. I'm going to take shipping containers.
And make them homes?
Turn them into restaurants, medical centers, restaurants, grow houses, music studios, whatever.
That's a great idea.
And
People use shipping containers all the time now for houses.
that's what we're doing. That's my whole vision, my whole goal. That's everything. That's where I'm just coming from right now. That's why I'm late coming here. So
Where are you going to put it?
I'm looking for a place now. That's why we got that big map on the wall right there.
Oh, you're going to try to do it in Dade County.
We're doing it in Dade County. Yes, sir. We want it, somewhere close, but I also want it because of complete training classes. So we're going to train people how to do electrical, plumbing, HVAC, roofing.
Oh, shit.
Yes, sir.
Hey, are you people paying attention? Didn't I talk about this in a previous episode? We need tradesmen. We got a shortage of electricians, plumbers, AC guys, hair cutters. We don't even have enough hairstylists these days. And they're paying big bucks. So pay attention to my buddy here. All right, I'm sorry.
Actually, that's the truth.
So you're going to train people to be tradesmen.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
And then the main thing we're going to do is take them out the inner city. We want to get them out the inner city.
Get them out of.
Out of the inner city and let them see something different.
Excellent idea. See where they can be.
See what they can. See how other people live.
That's right.
See how it is. I was on a private jet this weekend. right? But it would change the world if another person see that.
That's right. Some people can't even imagine what it's like.
Can't even, but it's right down the street. Less than 15 minutes away, the airport.
Oh, in Okeechobee. Yeah, exactly.
It's right down the street.
Exactly.
The water, the beach,
I feel so far away.
the water, the beach is right down the street.
And people don't get there.
They don't.
Doesn't make sense.
Yes, it
Doesn't
did.
make sense.
You gonna get locked up if you go down there. That's our mentality. I'm not messing with them white people. I don't want to mess with them white people, right?
If that is an overwhelming attitude, then that's messed up. Because
truth.
that shouldn't be like that.
In Baltimore, my hood
Baltimore's a tough city.
My hood was here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, across the street, it was number of mansions.
Oh, that close.
Across the street
Right?
was the hood. We couldn't cross the street to go to school. We had to walk all the way around
I believe that.
and couldn't walk through a certain neighborhood.
I believe that. I was in Cincinnati, Ohio in 1987 doing some work on a homeless shelter as a community project. And there's a place called Over the Rhine right by the stadium where the Cincinnati Reds play baseball. They got a mini Wall Street there. And there's a main road that runs right along where all the high-rise office buildings are. Directly across the street, all the homeless people. The most amazing thing, I stood on the homeless side and I'm looking down the street. No one ever crosses over. They walk up and down the street all day long, but never cross over. That's messed up. Why people can't interact with each other. Just crazy.
It was ingrained in us.
Just silly.
It was-
Hey, people, pay attention. You see his hand? I just touched it. We're not melting. It's not killing us. It's really not. We're not going to die over that shit. This is crazy shit we're talking about here. Crazy, unacceptable behavior.
Economic development is the reason why all of our leaders got killed. Whenever
Starting with MLK.
No, way before
Way before him?
Way before him. Way before. You gotta go to Eggers. You gotta go to Ralph Lex. You gotta. So many people. When they started pushing economic development, the rights to vote,
Yeah, but then you were reaching in the white man's pocket.
we're reaching in that.
That's right.
Got killed.
And that shit's got to stop.
And it's still going on.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
It's still going on.
Except now, I think it goes on with all races. Because the wealthy black man now thinks the same as the wealthy white man. Stay out of my pocket.
True.
That's the problem. We were just talking to Neil earlier about this. The problem with these groups, like Black Lives Matter, the people that donated to Black Lives Matter are white-owned corporations. So for how long do you expect the white-owned corporations to donate? You don't have any black support from the black community. We were talking about the NRA, one of the wealthiest organizations around. They got like $150 million a year just in dues for NRA members. Well, they got a lot of influence with $150 million in their pocket. BLM, they don't have it. Listen, black community, pay attention. You got to join in.
But then again, you gotta realize who's BLM.
Two women living in a $3.7 million house in Brentwood, California.
3 women.
Or 3 women. So as far as I'm concerned, we got 3 thieves.
Women.
3 thieves.
Lesbian women.
That's right, lesbian women. I forgot about that.
That's real talk.
Yeah, and they're living in a mansion in California.
Exactly.
Instead of helping the cause, they bought themselves houses.
Well, we don't know what they did or what they didn't do.
Well, we know they didn't come from $3.7 million worth of house.
We know that for a fact.
We know that for a fact. Mother. We know wherever they came from, it wasn't that.
Yeah, that's it. So BLM do not represent us.
No, and if they claim to, they do a horrible job of it.
Yeah, they don't. There's nothing that there's no right now. There's nobody that could claim blackness. What's going on? You got you do have some individuals out here, okay, that is working hard to provide financial economic development,
Okay.
okay, but they so underground because they know what's going to happen.
Right. They don't want the people to know where it's coming from.
Some people is on Facebook. Some people bringing them to the events. You
Really?
know, some people, yeah, Les Brown is one of them. He's going to tell you how to get the story through, you know, and everything else. There's a lot of us that's out there that's pushing to get the agenda across, you know.
But the problem is it's one at a time.
It's one at a time, and you need funding.
Always.
If I have funding, I can impact the whole United States with my programs and my ideas.
Right.
If I have funding.
It's all around it.
Because I'm teaching. So that means I could build houses everywhere real quick.
And inexpensive.
And inexpensive.
That's right.
So now you're not renting, now you're owning.
Yep. And your hood is now beautiful.
Now your hood is beautiful. All them empty lots.
Exactly. Full with garbage? Not anymore.
Not anymore. Apartment building. Now you got a place where you don't have to pay $1,600 a month.
Exactly. To live in a rat trap.
To live in a rat trap. Now we're going to work there and fix that place up. We have the resources. But because life is life, we just deal with it and just wait and just keep playing the guitar. Same song. Boom, boom.
We're just going to keep on playing.
Simple.
We're leaving you on his last notes. This has been good. And I'm glad I had my guest star over here today. For all of you watching, have a great day, and I'll see you on the next episode.
Peace and blessings. Listen to me. You can make it. I don't care what you're going through. I don't care what it seems like. I don't care. Somebody else has a worse story that they're going through right now. You got to speak life. You got to believe in yourself. You got to know that greatness is inside of you. And if you just pick yourself up, do what you have to do, take the charge. Take the charge. I don't care if it's not your charge. Take it. Make it happen. You got greatness in you. My name is Anthony Whitfield. You can always reach me on my website, DestinyContainerHomes.com. DestinyContainerHomes.com. 410-970-3031. 410-970-3031. Peace and blessings. It was a pleasure.
It was my pleasure to have you.
Thank you so much, sir. Oh, yeah, my bad. It's your show.
He took over the show.
You want to sing?
I can't sing.
You want to rap?
Can't do that either. I'm white. I can barely speak English.